Hello, my name is Carly Philemon, and today I'll be discussing our Informatics 635 final, which is going to be discussing UMLs as well as health informatics standards. UML introduction. UML stands for Unified Modeling Language. UML diagrams are a source of visualizing communication between users and program software users using diagrams to explain the interaction. The notation was first introduced by Grady Boach, James Rumbog, Ivor Jacobson, and the Rational Software Corporation. There are different types of UMLs. There is currently 13 different types of UMLs. They're categorized into structural UMLs and behavioral UMLs. Structural UMLs are class diagrams, package diagrams, object diagrams, component diagrams, composite structure diagrams, and deployment diagrams. Behavioral UML diagrams are activity diagrams, sequence diagrams, use case diagrams, state diagrams, communication diagrams, interaction overview diagrams, and timing diagrams. The first one I'll be discussing is class diagram. Class diagrams wow, excuse me. Class diagrams are one of the most useful types of diagrams. Clearly map out the structure of a particular system by modeling its class, attributes, operations, and relationships between objects. There's three parts to the class diagram. The first top part is the name. So that's manager, inventory, receptionist. The middle part is the attributes, which is where you would put the name, the ID, the phone number, type, status, so on and so forth. And the bottom is the method. If you're allowing anything to be changed or information to be added, like taking orders or purchasing orders or anything like that, as the picture here is showing. I also wanted to share some of the benefits of the class diagram. For one, it illustrates models of information systems, no matter how simple or complex. It better understands the general overview of this excuse me, schematics of an application. It visually expresses specific needs of system and disseminates the information throughout the business, creates detailed charts that highlight any specific code needed to be programmed and implemented to the described structure, and it provides an implementation independent descriptions of types used in systems that are later passed between its components. That last aspect is what spoke to me the most with class diagrams. I realized doing a class diagram prior to doing my room diagram helped me a lot in understanding the attributes I wanted to select. Use case diagrams. The purpose of use case diagrams in a UML is to demonstrate the different ways that a user might interact with the system. It's useful for representing goals of systems user interactions, defining and organizing functional requirements in a system, specifying the context and requirements of a system, and modeling the basic flow of event in a use case. This for me was the most useful and most entertaining, I guess, diagram that I made. I like that this is going to be the center part here where all the communication in the system will be taking place. These will be your actors. The little circles are the use case. Next, we have sequence diagram. A sequence diagram is a type of interaction diagram because it describes how and what order a group of objects work together. It represents the details of a UML use case. It models the logic of sophisticated procedure functions or operations. It sees how objects and components interact with each other to complete a process, and it plans and understands the detailed functionality of an existing or future scenario. Next we have is our RIM. The reference information model is the cornerstone of the HL7 version 3 development process. The RIM is a large pictorial representation of the HL7 clinical data domains and identifies the life cycle that a message or group of related messages will carry. The RIM is an ANSI approved standard. This next, it breaks down into health informatics standards. The health informatics standards that I chose to discuss is Red Codes and SNOMED. Red Codes are founded and created by Dr. James Reed in 1985. The main purpose of Red Codes is to serve as a coded thesaurus for medical terms. The way Red Codes work is they are designed to assist physicians with medical terms that they need to select in the AHR system. SNOMED kind of builds off of Reed Codes, in my opinion. It stands for Systemized Nomenclature of Medicine Clinical Terminology. SNOMED CT can be used to represent clinically relevant information consistently, reliably, and comprehensively as an integral part of producing electronic health information. SNOMED CT has foundation that is solid and has a complete machine readable format. My favorite thing about SNOMED CT is that it kind of helps break like a language barrier, or a learning barrier, I guess you could say. So SNOMED CT kind of combines different ways of saying a medical term. So, for an example, a system, if I'm used to calling it tomato, but Dr. B is used to calling it tomato, um, and let's say it's spelled differently, if I put that in the system and he puts that in the system, the SNOMED CT is going to recognize it as the same thing. So I think that's really good for, like I said, language barriers or lessons that were taught. Red codes is also good for help formulating a word or locating a word. Like if I wanted to put DIA in a search box, it's going to automatically select, or not select, but give me the option to select diarrhea or diabetes in that aspect. So that is going to conclude my presentation for Informatics 635 Final. Thank you.